promoter, ambassador for Ring of Honor, Cary Silkin. Cary, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm very well. Thanks for the downtown for having me on. It's nice to talk with you guys, meet you guys, and I look forward to seeing you guys in person. April 1st-ish, when Ring of Honor runs in the Curtis Colwell Center in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean,
we'll be there.
Brought it up. Yeah, we already got our tickets, so we got the pre-sale. The tickets do go on sale this Friday.
That's right.
Supercard of Honor. Like Cary mentioned, April 1st out in Garland, Texas, Curtis Colwell Center. It's going to be a massive show. The main event we already know, which is going to be a unification of the Ring of Honor World Championship between current champion Bandito and then the interim champion Jonathan Grisham. Both these men are fantastic wrestlers. I love watching both of them wrestle, and then them together. We were supposed to see a final battle, but unfortunately Bandito came in contact with some COVID, so we got the interim champion now with Jonathan Grisham. This match is going to be incredible.
Yeah, and I just got to see Jonathan Gresham last weekend. He was at the Impact tapings, and it was I didn't even know Impact was in town. There I am in Fort Lauderdale, and I spoke to my podcast partner and my good friend Ian Riccaboni, Ring of Honor announcer, and I was supposed to leave previous Wednesday. And I spoke to Ian on Monday, and he says, "Oh, when are you leaving?" I said, "Oh, Wednesday." He goes, "Oh, it's too bad you're not staying. I'm coming in Thursday." I go, "For what?" And, well, he was coming in for the Impact tapings, which included not only Jonathan Gresham, but also an invasion of sorts took place a few weeks ago by Mike Bennett, Matt Taven, PCO, Maria Kanellis, Vincent, and now Kenny King. So I was
I saw some of it.
I was a little disappointed in their behavior, but I got to see everybody, and Impact was very gracious. But yeah, man.
Yeah. I was gonna say I was at the Impact taping or the pay-per-view Hard to Kill here in Dallas, and then I went the next night for the TV tapings, and there was very little honor in what the Ring of Honor guys did in there, but it's very entertaining. I can't wait to see what happens with it all.
Well, make sure you tune in to the next couple of weeks of programming because I tell them where it's at.
All right.
Regarding their behavior.
That's awesome. So, along with Supercard of Honor, it's been announced there's going to be a Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. 20 years of Ring of Honor now. The hall could be packed quickly with everyone that's come through Ring of Honor. I know you're not talking about who's in the first class yet, but if you had to pick maybe one or two, who would you like to see there?
It's a tough one, but my first pick is actually a double pick. It's obvious who I'm going to say, right? The Briscoe brothers.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Then there's just so many other people, that we can select. Everybody romances about the early days of Ring of Honor. So obviously you would want to pick a Samoa Joe or a CM Punk. But I think my second pick after the Briscoes, because of his longevity, being with ROH from the very first show up until 2009, the great Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
American Dragon.
American Dragon. Yep. I was just about to say it. American Dragon.
So, he's got to be picked. And then we could jump ahead. I mean, the Young Bucks were in Ring of Honor in 2008 till 2019. So, we could jump her all over the place. It's a rich pool to pick from. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, some of my picks would probably be if you want to do newer Jay Lethal, without a doubt, has been the face
How
in the
could I
franchise
how could I not mention my best friend?
I mean, Jay Lethal has been so amazing. And then, you've got the workhorses of people like Delirious, who obviously worked backstage as well and has been the booker for, countless years. You've got people like Colt Cabana, who really helped put Ring of Honor on the map. I mean, like we said, there's 20 years of history throughout the entire company. I mean, Christopher Daniels, our first show, like,
Ring of Honor is a who's who of professional wrestling history the last 20 years. Absolutely.
Right.
I would like to
also,
think
if we could get him back from teaching kids in Mexico, maybe even El Generico. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, look at the run that Steen had. Heaven knows. Never old. How can I forget my good buddy, the guy that used to be my roommate often, at the risk of embarrassing him by saying that? Why was he my roommate? Because I wasn't drinking or partying, and he didn't like all the guys doing what they were doing after the shows. So good old Tyler Black, Seth Rollins.
Oh.
Right. He's a good guy. We still communicate, and he's look. He was in Ring of Honor from 2006 till 10, but he accomplished so much. You got to throw out even Austin Aries, two-time champion. And did I mention Samoa Joe? Maybe.
Yep.
Oh, yes, sir.
So anyway.
Well, since you mentioned it, you've got to have a good Tyler Black story, since you guys live together.
I really don't. He was like he was really quiet. He was quiet. He was polite. He was well behaved. He didn't, like I said, he wasn't partying. He wasn't chasing women. There's really, you got the wrong guy. You picked the wrong one. I mean, let me just think. Oh yeah. You guys don't have casinos in Texas, right?
We do not.
Unfortunately, no. We have to go right over the border in Oklahoma for those.
Well, you've been to them, I'm sure.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you about Tyler Black. He is the worst effing crap shooter. I like to play dice when I go to the casino. And we're not going to give your listeners a long explanation about the game, but the best thing about the game, when whoever's throwing the dice is going to be either a hero or a zero, because although you can bet against the shooter, everybody at the table is betting on the shooter. So the longer you roll, the better you're doing. And Tyler Black, Seth Rollins, Colby, we would go to Atlantic City often because after some of the Philadelphia shows, it was a straight shot about an hour from the ECW place where we were taping with HDNet. So often we would go to Atlantic City, and he would like to come along and just hang out, and we would eat good food, and various guys came, but I'd always go to the dice table, and I'd always, and I'm not the great, it's like. But every friggin' time, he'd roll the dice, make a point, and then 7 out. It was, so anyway, that's my most exciting Tyler Black story. I'm sorry.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Now that we know that he's not very good when it comes to craps, I know what not to ever do if I ever
Stay
have.
away from him.
Yeah. So, since Supercard of Honor is here in the DFW area, the Dallas-Fort Worth area has been a great home for pro wrestling, obviously going back to the world-class days.
Sure.
How does the Dallas-Fort Worth market compare to other markets?
Listen, I don't know. You see, here's the thing. It's a really good question, and it's tough to answer, especially when you have the WrestleMania factor put into it.
Sure.
Like if we were going there without WrestleMania, I'll answer it though. If we were going there without WrestleMania, I think, you said it yourself. It's a really good market, has a great history. You guys are young. I mean, I could go back before World Class, just the Texas territories, going way back to the Funks in Amarillo and to the great Paul Box. Paul Bosch in Houston, and of course Fritz von Erich. So there was like 3 territories within one state. Although Houston wasn't a territory really, it was more like a once every 2 weeks or something. It's like an all-star thing, maybe once a week. But so yeah, it's obvious that, you know, Texas has been good to wrestling, and I know since the pandemic, Texas is a little more liberal. I don't know how smart it is, but it's a little more liberal than a lot of states. So it's given a platform, you know, after the pandemic, you know, Ring of Honor, they just played it safe and took a break, and you know, other people were doing what they do, and but yeah, Texas, it's going to be awesome. I was there. I was in Dallas whenever that WrestleMania was there. What was that? 2015, 13?
Oh yeah, 6 years ago. I think 2016.
Yeah, and I'm a big John F. Kennedy conspiracy theorist, and so's Kyle O'Reilly, who's a good friend of mine. And I just saw him at AEW, and he just had a beautiful baby girl a week ago. But yeah, he and I are Kennedy. It's not even a Kennedy conspiracy; it's a Kennedy murder. You know, that's you know. It's not a conspiracy. He was shot from 3 sides.
Absolutely.
But, you know, some people think that Oswald was the only man to pull the trigger. But anyway, we were in Texas, popped over there, ate some good food. My good friend Bushwhacker Luke was at that convention. I always love seeing him. And he's going to be down there for the WrestleCon thing. So yeah, and then, how many times did we go to, well, we went to Dallas a number of times when I wasn't there also. So, but my experience there is it's great. It's a lot of fun. And, you know, we're going to rock and roll with this, Supercard of Honor show.
Speaking of
it's going to be a good one.
Have you seen that new Oliver Stone documentary about it? 'Cause I heard it was really good. I just haven't had a chance to watch it.
Which Oliver Stone? About JFK?
No, so he has a new documentary about he's found more evidence about the JFK murder. Yeah.
I would love to. When we're done.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Where is it available?
No, I believe it should be available. I forget exactly which platform. There's too many streaming platforms at this point.
Yeah, there are too many. But I'll look it up.
Yeah. I'll look it up also, and I'll send it over to you.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
So, you know, we're talking about Supercard of Honor. It's going to be kind of a launching point for a new Ring of Honor. Any ideas what the future of Ring of Honor is going to be after this Supercard?
Well, you guys got to understand and that, yes, I am the Ring of Honor ambassador, but I'm not involved in any of the day-to-day business. But of course you want to, well, I probably want to see what you want to see. I'd like to see, you know, Ring of Honor, get back in action on a regular basis. Is it going to happen? Who knows? No, but, listen, I'm happy we're having this show as a launching pad, as you said, and get our feet on the ground and, go from there. I have a lot of faith in the guys, Joe Koff, and we just have to see. You know, it's not Cary's Ring of Honor, and it hasn't been since 2012.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're very excited to see where it leads. I mean, I know they took the break after Final Battle. Final Battle was a fantastic show, which, you know, put a lot of questions out in the universe as to what the new Ring of Honor is going to look like. So I'm very excited to see not only what this show brings, but what afterwards brings as well.
Absolutely. I mean, but as far as this show, just like you guys, I don't know any of I have a little idea. I do know a little, but I don't know exactly what we're going to see, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be good, just like Ring of Honor always delivers. And as you said, I think it's this Friday. The tickets go on sale.
Yes, sir.
To the public. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I like coming down for the. I'm going to come down early, like Wednesday, and hang out where High Spots does the WrestleCon.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy that. Just seeing some friends, and the Ring of Honor show is Friday, and guess what? I'll be going home Sunday, not watching one bit of WWE.
Me either. Me either.
I'd be happy to see some New Japan or MLW. Go ahead.
Yes. MLW is going to be in town. Impact's going to be in town. Everyone's going to be in town. It's going to be a phenomenal weekend for professional wrestling.
Yeah, especially, I mean, if you love wrestling from around the world, it's going to be there. We got AAA, New Japan. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Rev Pro tried to do something over here. But then also we've got so much Texas talent happening as well. You know, there's just a laundry of, if you want to watch wrestling from the time you wake up until the time you go to sleep, it is possible that week. Not even that weekend, but the entire week.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Mike from High Spots, and he runs a good thing. You know, look, I'm here to promote the Ring of Honor thing, but he's doing like 8 events. From, you know, Effie's Gay Brunch to this, to that, Joey Janela's, whatever. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
But hopefully people will be curious. And I can assure you by the time as the weeks roll out, you're going to be hearing some, very, very intriguing, not to mention, highly anticipated, hinted at, let's just say, matches.
All right.
And, yeah, man, it's going to be awesome. And the tickets go on sale this Friday.
Yes, sir. Now, you're a big music fan. Who are some of your favorite wrestlers' entrance music? And then what would your entrance music be?
Well, I have entrance music, sort of.
Well, you do. Yeah.
Well, most of the wrestlers' entrance music these days is generic.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, like, for example, all right. Unfortunately, I don't watch WWE very often enough to be able to ring a bell of an entrance. Maybe if you said, oh, you know, don't you remember Roman Reigns is such and such? I would be, oh yeah, that's it, right. So that brings it down to Ring of Honor and AEW, you know, and the day, you know, I got to be honest, I'm glad to see Tony Khan spending some money to do some copyrighted music. Like the Wild thing. For
that's really
Ambrose,
fun.
Joan Jett. And maybe you guys know, what's that silly song that they play for Jungle Boy?
Oh, I know what song you're talking about, but I don't even remember the name of it. But yeah, you're actually, because that song was super huge in the early 90s.
Right. And, you know, it's amazing. And I got to tip my hat. Although, I mean, it's amazing that Chris Jericho and that Fozzy song, what the hell's the name of it? I should know. I've heard about 8 million times.
The Judas Effect.
Thank you. You know, it's just amazing. He's a really good dude. I knew he was a good dude for years. One of my friends, I never met him. One of my friends is in the UK. He was a referee. He was in apparel for wrestling. He was just over with Chris Jericho. This is what I'm talking like 10, 12 years ago. And it's like, he's like, Cary, he's like really, really nice guy. You know, he asked me, you know, do you want to, and you're talking about a 20-year age disparity here. And he said,
right.
But whatever, Jericho just tuned into my friend. He just liked him. Said, you know, you want to hang out? What is that? One of you guys getting arrested back there?
Not me.
So, it's Jericho's entrance music is really cool. That the people have adopted it.
Yep. They sing along with it. That's what I really like seeing.
Right. You know, and to achieve that is tough. But yeah, what I also wanted to say about Jericho was he had me on his podcast. He's just such a cool guy, you know. And listen, I'm still 15 years older than him, but I can talk his language, and you know, we whatever, we groove over music as well as wrestling, as well as history, and the days of the great entrance music, like I can't even name the Ring of Honor ones, but when they play Lethal's entrance music, right, Gresham's, Dalton Castle, right?
Yeah, Dalton Castle was fun.
Right, as well as the Briscoes, you know, and it's just, yeah, so, that's my opinion on the current entrance music world.
Now, that Jungle Boy song you were worrying about is called Tarzan Boy, is literally the name of the song.
That's right,
yeah.
That's right.
By Baltimore, yeah.
The fans respond to it, so that's what, you know, it's nice. Listen, back in the old Ring of Honor, I ducked and dodged, you know, with playing this copyrighted music. And, oh yeah, well, the question, my entrance music is, when they do the walkout and the countdown to start a Ring of Honor show, is, the heavy part of Jethro Tull's Locomotive Breath. That's, you know, which has been my entrance since '08. And, that's fun. The only bummer was we couldn't use it at Madison Square Garden. They were worried about the royalty fees and all that. Sure. So other than that, Madison Square Garden was a magic night.
Oh, I bet.
I was there.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say I wasn't there, but Rhodey was there. I watched. It was very fun too.
Yeah, I mean that was the dream of my life. You got to understand, I was brought up 40 minutes outside of New York City, and my dad, who was a really cool dude, he was a bartender, and he worked at he worked anywhere from taverns, but the majority of the last 20 years of his career, he was in this bar that catered to, it was a jazz bar with a nicer clientele. It was not a shot and beer joint by far. Anyway, so the liquor salesman, even when he owned a bar in Newark, the liquor salesman, the beer guy, they would flip him tickets, right? So he would take me to Yankee Stadium, when I started becoming a hockey fan, take me to the Garden for Rangers games, and I always wanted to go to wrestling at the Garden, but they had this rule. Do you know about this, boys?
Think so.
Well, yeah, up until 1973, there were a number of blue laws. You know, a blue law is like you can't sell liquor, you're not allowed to sell liquor on a Sunday or something like that.
Right,
so they had these blue laws that no women wrestlers allowed, no gimmick matches like cage match, chain match, nothing like that. And the worst one of all, you must be 14 to get in to see boxing or wrestling in New York.
What?
Yep. Well,
that makes no sense.
We found out that it was only put into effect at the Garden. Everywhere else they were very lean. They ignored it. So my uncle Henry, my Uncle Henry knew the promoter of Sunnyside Gardens, which was in Queens. So I got to see my first live show when I was 10 years old, and I couldn't get to the Garden though. And I asked my father for my 14th birthday, can we please go to the Garden? And he's the good guy that he was. He's like, yes. So the feature bout, Bruno had just lost his belt, and the feature bout was Pedro Morales against, you ready? You ready?
Let's hear it.
Freddie Blassie. Blassie, Freddie Blassie, who was 52, and he made his last run as a heel, and I loved him. And for the first time ever, since I was a little kid, watching the WWF TV, the first time ever they had blood was when Freddie Blassie did the biting gimmick on 3 weeks in a row of TV tapings. And it was just like crazy. But anyway, so there I was at Madison Square Garden, 1971, used to go to all the wrestling shows in the 70s. And then the concerts. Holy shit. Talk about it. Unless you guys are hip hop fans, which is nothing wrong with that. Unless you guys are hip hop fans and super country music fans, which there's nothing wrong with that either, this was rock and roll. So within a 3-year period, 3 years, I repeat, I saw at the Garden and other venues, but we'll talk the Garden, Led Zeppelin, The Who, George Harrison from the Beatles, Elton John, Billy Joel, Paul McCartney's first tour, Wings Over America, Jethro Tull, Pink Floyd, The Grateful Dead, the Allman Brothers.
It's like a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right. And so, and then, things went bad for me, and I had serious substance, they talk about the demons. I had cocaine and alcohol problems, substance abuse problems, which, now obviously you guys don't listen to my fucking podcast.
I haven't started listening to Last Stop at Penn Station, but I have heard about it.
I'm so rude. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. Well, if you listen to Last Stop Penn Station, you'll hear these stories of my debauchery and my downfall. There's a mountain missing in Peru where that it went up my nose, and this went on for like 15 years, and it might sound like fun, but it really wasn't. And I finally cleaned up my act. Well, what I was going to say was during this time, I was in the city a lot, and I was involved with, I got to know some guys that were in, hustle tickets on the street. This is before the fucking internet. This is before StubHub and everything, right? So, at all these events, and it was in Texas too. I don't care if it was a baseball game that only had 20,000 seats sold, or it was Metallica, or if it was Garth Brooks, or whoever the hell it was, and people would come looking for tickets the night of the show. Some more than others. It wasn't like, I'll look on StubHub and, so I got into the ticket business. The point, and then I cleaned up my act in the 90s. I was off the streets, meaning as far as working in an office, opened my own office in 98 at Rave Review Tickets, which basically funded Ring of Honor. And here's the thing. So there I am at the Rangers games, at the Freddie Blassie, going to all the wrestling, seeing all those great bands. And then eventually from 85-ish, 84-ish through 1991, hustling tickets in front of the Garden. Do you know what the odds would be of me to be able to be presenting Matt Taven with a belt in the ring at Madison Square Garden? It would be like one of those Powerballs. I was the most unlikely guy to succeed. It's like, Cary, that guy Cary, just stay away from him, right? Anyway, not that it was dangerous, but anyway, so that was a magic night. Sorry for that long rant.
No, that's like exactly what we're here for.
I mean, it's an amazing story, and I mean, it's unlikely people that genuinely do succeed, so, and those stories are way better than, somebody who grew up straight-laced and then made it to the top. Those are very boring stories, and no one likes to hear those.
Now, thing, guys. If I drop dead after this phone call, I won because I've been playing on the house's money for the last 35 years. But let's hope that doesn't happen, and I at least think to Texas to see you guys.
Absolutely.
I hope the same thing.
Well, look, I appreciate this. If anyone wants to follow me, I'm not massive on social media, far from it, but on Twitter, it's ROHCARY. That's right, ROH Cary. Same on Instagram. And please come to visit Ring of Honor on April 1st in Garland, Texas. And don't forget, subscribe to my damn podcast, Last Count Penetration, and give it a damn rating or some comment. You even tell me that you hate it. I don't care. Just something. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's good episodes. There's a lot of, pro wrestling history. There's interviews with Bushwhacker Luke. There's interviews with behind the scenes guys like Gary Juster, as well as Kevin Sullivan and, other people. But it's really about the characters and my stories over the years. So check it out and join us on April 1st. Tickets go on sale this Friday.
This Friday.
That's right. Mr. Silkin, thank you so much for the time. I'm definitely going to go subscribe to your podcast, Last Stop Penn Station, right now.
It's not boring.
I can tell from this conversation, nothing you're going to do.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Like, just based on this conversation, I'm already a fan. So let's get subscribed and let's get going.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cary.
Tag us and send those pictures over to us on Facebook, Arlington Citizen Media, Twitter, ATX Citizen Media. Tag us on Instagram, Arlington Citizen Media, and send those pictures the old-fashioned way. Email arlingtoncitizenmedia@gmail.com. Also go to our website, www.arlingtoncitizenmedia.com. Don't forget to subscribe and give those 5-star reviews of The Downtown at Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and also hit us on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and YouTube.